This is Investment Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Daily live streaming interactive. Featuring Mrs. Backup. Subscribe, hit the notification, smash the likes. Now, here's Backup Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Good afternoon, everybody out there in the XRP community. I hope everybody's having a great day. I just wanted to make a quick video real quick because I saw something from David Rutter from R3, and shout out to Ken Melendez, who I saw this from and shared it. Now, this isn't the first time we've heard David Rutter talk about Corda and the Italian banking system, but this is a little more clear that he's speaking today. Now, when I last reported about David Rutter, the CEO from R3, talking about Corda, was at CordaCon, which was, I believe, last October, September, October. And he had mentioned that 78% of all the Italian banks were going to use the Corda settler for interbank reconciliation. Well, apparently here on CNBC with the post that Ken Melendez is sharing, and let me get this up for everybody, you're going to see even more clarity from David Rutter, the CEO of R3, talk about that exact fact. And let's check it out. It's a 6-minute interview. Let's check it out. It's worth every bit of it. He does touch on Libra and a few other things. So let's hear what he says here. And it's really great because it also talks about, they ask him about where we are in this innovation of the digital space. So check this out.
Well, I don't know if there's disincentives, but your first point is very accurate. Libra woke a lot of people up. Central banks have been looking at blockchain and digital currencies for years now. They started by looking at it in the retail sense. From our perspective, because we are an enterprise software solution for businesses, we're interested in central bank digital currencies to settle large value transactions, which is different than replacing a currency completely with some cryptocurrency backed by a central bank. But you know, there's another trend there too, Karen. If you look in Sweden, it's almost a cashless society too. So the central banks have a lot of things to consider when they look at what's going on in the cryptocurrency world and how they want to promote commerce globally.
Security being a dominant theme as well. We've seen raids on certain reserves by hackers in the past. So if they're going to replace an old system with a new one, they want to make sure it's entirely secure. How does blockchain stack up these days? Because some say it's impenetrable and others say, well, there have been examples of hacking there too.
So the security side plays to our strengths. We made some unpopular choices 3 or 4 years ago, and it really had to do a lot with my history. I've been on the street for 30 years now, and we're interested in solving real-world business problems and making incremental improvements by using distributed computing. Importantly, anyone in a value chain knows that what their counterparty sees is what I see. And the thing is that I think that the problem on with the cryptocurrency is that it doesn't really solve those issues.
One of the other concerns in the marketplace is about China getting there first. So we were talking last year about Libra prodding central banks to take action. Now with China moving forward with a form of a digital currency, there's a feeling that other central banks in the West also need to step up. The difference though, if you consider WeChat and the way the payment system works in China, you've got a whole bunch of passports identification that is linked to an identity, a digital identity. But here in the West, there's not really a similar situation. So if you're setting up a digital passport of some form, you could be anyone. You could be several people at the same time. And as we talk about money laundering, that's a huge issue. So how does Europe get to the position where China is, where identity is firmly attached to documents?
Europe actually can't get to the position that China is. Interestingly, I was in Hong Kong when Xi made that announcement. And everyone took notice, and there's a tremendous amount of work being done there. But with our GDPR rules and other privacy-related limitations, we can't go about moving to a digital economy in the same way China is, and that actually worries me a little bit. I mean, if you travel through China, you go into an office building, you walk up, and the employees have the facial recognition. They don't have badges or anything of that sort. They can track their citizens everywhere without worrying about it. For China, it makes a lot of sense. It does cause the rest of the central banks, and I meet with central banks a lot. I just met with one yesterday, as a matter of fact. And it certainly, like Libra, got them thinking more about the retail side, which is a much more complex problem to solve. Xi has the central banks really thinking about, they want to control their own destiny, and they want to at least be able to issue coins and help commerce at the business level. The retail side is much more complicated.
One of my challenges, we do a tech event in China every November, and a lot of the things that you're saying resonate because there is this totally different treatment of privacy and data and big data and so on, which does give a lot of Chinese companies a big advantage. But what I wanted to come back to was there we also talk to a lot of companies who are in the robotics space or autonomous vehicles, self-driving cars, and so on and so forth. And what seems to be becoming clear here is that all of this is taking a lot longer than we expected.
Listen
that
to what
the
he
adoption
says.
of a lot of these
David
technologies is perhaps more slower than we thought. And it also seems to be the case with blockchain. We've been talking a long time about blockchain and about its use for many reasons, for many sort of B2B purposes, and yet the real adoption of this is incredibly slow, it seems. Why is that the case?
Well, Jeff, is it really incredibly slow? Or can we look at historical implementations of technology and just realize that the media and those of us that are in the business kind of overhyped it early on? I think Bill Gates refers to that Amari law quite a lot, which is the idea is that humans overestimate the power of technology in the short run and underestimate it in the long run. So listen, given my background, if you look at CLS or you look at Swift and other innovations, since we're, the R3 Corda platform works for all industries, okay? But we're talking about finance here. It took those organizations over a decade to get live. I had a treasury platform that I started at the same time as R3 called Liquidity Edge, which I sold to a company called Market Access. That took 6 years, and it's only getting traction now. So I think the big thing for us is that we made design choices around privacy, scalability, and security. We avoided the drug of the hype of trying to get into public blockchain. People are now realize that the public blockchain was a mistake. They're trying to implement privacy on top of it.
Listen what
People
he
are
says.
now concentrating on the environmental impact of proof of work and the like. So it's playing to our strength, and it's getting real this year. One thing I want to mention is the entire Italian banking system will be on Corda for interbank payments this year. Hundreds of millions of transactions will be transacted on Corda this year. So it is getting real. It's been 6 years. That feels all right to me.
Oh, David Rutter, what? Are you kidding me? I'm going to tell you something. I don't know about anybody else, but I'm about to get a David Rutter t-shirt. That is unbelievable. David Rutter laying it down, ladies and gentlemen. 100% of the Italian banks will use Corda for interbank settlement. Well, at the conference, at the CordaCon last September, October, it was 78%. So there's been a jump in getting everyone in Italy on board. And by the way, why am I so excited? Because the Corda and the Corda settler use the digital asset XRP for settlement. And there will be hundreds of millions of transactions that will be transacted on Corda this year. Is that a fact? Guys, I got to tell you something. 2020 has proven to be a really, really kick-ass year out of the gate. We're seeing a little price movement, and we're starting to get these big reveals about what is going to take place and what has been worked on for the last 5 or 6 years from these different companies and platforms out here. Hats off to R3 and David Rutter, and I couldn't be more excited. I hope you guys are too. All right, guys, that's it for me. Shout out to Ken Melendez for that post on Twitter. Appreciate it. I'm going to make sure I'm giving him a follow real quick here. Yeah, I was following him. Yeah, I feel even better now. I've been following Ken. That's great. All right, so thank you, guys. Leave a comment below. Hit the like and subscribe. Let's keep this thing going. Nothing but good news for me and for you and XRP. All right, guys, take care. Catch you on the next one.